Hey guys, welcome back to the Smith Hero YouTube channel. Today we're back working on the Mk1 Tdi swap, and today what we're going to be doing, we do have an O2A in this car that's been converted to an O2J transmission. Watch that video if it's somewhere in the descriptions. But today what we're doing is converting to a clutch cable system for the hydraulic trans. This is a factory option. Came like in some European cars, I think like a Eurovan, maybe a Passat. This takes the place of the slave cylinder, which usually is right there. So it'll be like that. And then we have the little bracket that'll come in, and that's where the clutch cable in comes. You adjust it right here. It's a manual adjustment. And then unfortunately this is plastic, so hopefully it lasts. If not, we'll have to make something or find a better solution. This kit is actually really cheap. I thought it was going to be better quality when I bought it. I paid a little extra because of that, and you know, oh well. Literally I bought this off of eBay by itself when I was going to do the CRX version where you could just buy a CRX cable, but I was looking around and I bought this off of a kit. So when this kit came, this was in its own bag and this was in a white bag, exactly like I got off of eBay. So this is 100% an eBay part. And then right here, this is a, this is a cable speedo conversion. I think it's off of a G60. So in this whole process, we're going to be removing the dash cluster and pulling all that out, and that will go back. You can't really see it, but back there is the they have a digital speedometer on these transmissions. So we need to convert it to a cable so it'll drive the OEM cluster. What we're going to start with doing is taking all the dash apart, the speedo cable first, because I think that's the best route right now. And then after that, then we'll go down bottom, take the clutch cable out, and start with that. We're going to get right to it. Basically, this, I believe you either unscrew or you pull. Same with this, unscrew or pull. It's one of the two, one for each. And then there's a bunch of screws up here. You run across there, grab all those, and then you got to take the ashtray out, and there will be a few screws underneath. The radio, since this isn't factory, this is going to be the biggest holdup. It'll get snagged on everything, but we'll see how that goes. And these, you just grab them and pull. See, it comes right off, and don't lose them. We got this far, we got the cluster out. Right back here is the speedometer cable. So I took this cover off down here and reached my arm up, and I was able to take it off. But I think now at this point, seeing how bad the wiring is, like this is all hacked up, unfortunately. This is stuff that you really couldn't have seen. First is just the wiring in here. It's pretty rough. Then you see wiring in here, it's pretty rough. There is a harness down here that literally looks like it's been on fire. It's gonna be hard to see with this, but all the way down here, right there, maybe you guys can see it. You can see it's ripped open and it's all like green, corroded, and basically it's a bad fire hazard. So at this point, everything is so bad wiring wise in here, and I do happen to have another entire late Westy Mk1 harness, or yeah, like a complete harness of a car. That's obviously going to be in another episode. It's not in this episode. In this episode, we're going to stick to putting the new cable in, doing the new clutch conversion, all that stuff, getting that completely finalized. Then unfortunately this will be a whole nother episode, tearing the dash out, and when we take it out, then we'll just be completely redoing wiring, which, you know, oh well, but we got to get it done. Underneath here, you gotta take the clutch cable. I'm gonna try to get you up there, but here's the clutch cable that came out. Let's see if you guys can see it. Right here, it hooks right over the top of that, so this is out. Now we can just pull it straight out of the firewall. And the same thing with the Speedo, we just pull it out of the firewall. Here is the clutch cable. And we just gotta pull it right out. And then the Speedo cable is a little bit harder because it's actually up top. And wiggle it and pull it out. Alright. And here is the Speedo for it. So now this can go with the trans as well. Alright, press the red button for me so it's over. Up top. Okay, so we got the cable, and I always grease these up. These grommets go into the car. So this is how the grommets are. This side goes into the cluster. So like right here.
All right.
And watch where I'm putting this.
Okay.
We've got both grommets in place. The other one's up in there. Collar, the threaded collar, it always moves because again it's a cheap cable, unfortunately. And the best remedy for that is just you use 2 zip ties and then it can't fall back anymore, and then just cut the ends off and you're good to go. This is a digital Speedo, and it goes on top of the trans back here, but you'll see how there's like this little square peg in there. That's what spins, that's what creates the current and tells the Speedo how fast you're going. So this is kind of the same thing, except it has that square, but instead of turning up here so the magnets can pick up on it, it's just a cable that goes all the way through the cluster. So now all you gotta do is just make sure this goes in first and then screw it on and you're good to go. Just route it in a nice clean spot. I ran the cable, comes down through here, and then I have it going right through the 2 shifter cables. Hopefully that shows it. Hopefully you see it. That's all tight. That's all ready to go now. We can move on to doing the actual clutch cable now and the slave cylinder. So now we're putting in the slave cylinder adapter for the clutch cable. It's going to be pulled this way, so this is how it'll be mounted in the car. I got 2 OEM slave bolts. I just realized you gotta. This one's going to be tricky. This one goes deep down in the hole, so I'm going to need a socket for that one. That's fully installed now. See, that's how it works. Now we gotta get the clutch cable in, but let's see, that's how it should work. That's how it looks in the car. Clutch cable is ready to go in. I always grease them up because again this is manual, so to be adjusting it, it's not very often, but it's often enough to where you don't want it to be seized up. So this side goes in, always put some grease inside the little plastic. Again, this is plastic, it might break, hopefully it doesn't. Fish it in for now, and then we'll figure out how we're going to route it, because there's a couple different ways to route it. I guess that's how it goes, I don't know. Maybe. Let's go put it on the pedal for now. It's up there, so it's on the pedal now. And now we gotta figure out which way to route it. They definitely make this clutch cable too long and multiple different ways so you can run it. I think the best way I'm going to do it is it's gonna be up here, and then I'm gonna have it come down into this OEM wiring harness hold down. So it's gonna be like that, and I'm gonna have it come down, and it's gonna come around and under. I'll probably be able to kind of pull this stuff up loosely and keep it away from anything that's moving or whatever. But you can see it's just way too long. Take the nut all the way back, and then you put the cable through first, through the slot, and then you got to get this plastic or this rubber insert in, and it kind of locks in place, and then it has this little flat spot that'll lock into this. So now what we can do is push this all the way through like that, and I can pull this in, get this in place, and then we can start adjusting. Here. So I've been messing with this clutch cable, and it's absolute junk. I think the only thing I can do is let it fail. So up here where it comes through the firewall, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but when you pull the cable through, it's riding on the sleeve of the cable, and all that's going to do is just tear it. And once it tears, you know, it's going to tear 1 piece, 2 piece, 3 piece, and then eventually it's just going to pop. So right now I'm just going to hose it down with this, and then I'll go out there and show you what I did for out there, because yet again it's entirely too long, and it seems like it's kind of made in the wrong position, or maybe it's just the Tech 53 mount requires a different cable, but it's really tight out there. So basically I have it fully maxed out all the way, and it's literally just enough to have the free play and let the clutch actually engage. Like, it's super tight. I think it's all just this cable, because everything in the cable kit seems extremely cheap. It's just unfortunate. If you guys run into this issue, let me know down in the comments. Let me know what you guys did to fix it. It seems to me that the fix is that you'll have to get the CRX cable, and I think that one has a clevis pin, which then you'll be able to drill the pedal down slightly, maybe, and lower the center of gravity, because right now it's grabbing up here in the stock spot, and that's pulling on that tube. But if you brought it down to like right there, like drilled another hole or something, then it would be perfectly dead center and you'd never have to worry about it. So this is definitely an issue, and it's something I'm gonna have to address later, but it's just unfortunately has to go together right now. I'll send an email to the company, and I'm sure it won't do anything. Oh well, at this point I already spent the money. It's been a few months. This is the part of the clutch pedal that's the issue, or sorry, the clutch cable. It's actually riding, it's pulling up here, so that's the issue. But you can see they gave you like an extra little metal sleeve, so that'll protect it against the brake booster wherever you run it. I think this is how we're gonna run it, like this, and it's gonna come down. I'll attach some P-clamps somewhere and kind of keep it like, you know, as tucked out of the way as possible. And then right here, this is what I was talking about, where I literally have no adjustment, but it's on. I put the bolt on, tightened it up, and it does indeed work. So I'll show you right now. Jamie, where you go in the car? So this will show you that it's right now it's in gear. Hold up, and see, I cannot spin the axle cup myself. Now Jamie, push the clutch in. So clutch is pushed in, and I can move the diff, let the clutch out, and I can't move it now. Clutch is actually working. This is just how it has to be for now. But as of right now, that stuff is done. And you guys saw I found a lot of issues in the wiring. That'll be in one of the next videos, because we're getting close to wiring the truck up. But right now, you couldn't see the wiring issues in the early one when I pulled out the cluster. So you can see this is all kind of OEM stuff. This is door speakers that are added, but then you can start to see all that kind of weird zip ties, and everything's routed wrong. But here's the main issue, is this wiring harness. I don't know what wiring harness it is, but it's fully cooked, and you can see that someone has been in here, because all they did on purpose was just tape it up. So look at that. That is an absolute fire hazard. Look at that. So yeah guys, I have to figure this out. I don't even know what wire it is. Gray and red, but yeah, it's cooked and it's melted. So yeah, I'm gonna be taking the dash out, redoing this wiring. If I can save this harness, I will. But like I said, I do have a full spare Mark 1 harness. If we have to use it, we have to use it. And when the dash is out, maybe it'll make mounting the Mark 3 pedal a little easier. And I also have to fix the heater core. So I don't know, there's a lot of stuff to do. The heater core was just basically the lines. So these lines weren't fully seated on whoever did this, and I thought they were. I never really paid attention to it, and it rubbed through one day when I was on 95, and coolant started pouring in the car. So we got to take care of that too. Now the wiring, you know, it just keeps adding up. So yeah, if you guys can leave a like, comment, and do a subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Stay tuned for the next videos, and if you guys had trouble with that clutch cable conversion, let me know how you guys figured it out, what you did to solve it basically. Thanks again for watching. We're way further apart, but we're getting to the end, if that makes any sense to you guys. See ya.